Abe, what is it like for an offensive lineman just getting back into pads? I know Coach kind of talked about how it for the linemen the first couple of days without pads, you don't really get to learn much. So, what is it like getting back in pads for you and the other big guys up front?
Oh, I'm going to disagree with our coach that we don't get to learn much. Getting back in the pads is basically the same as not being in pads because us and the D linemen pretty much go full speed all the time. There's really no such thing as a non-padded practice between us unless we are just, maybe playing two-hand touch football, and even then, that's going to be super, super physical. So, I mean, there really isn't much of a difference other than the fact that we get to use our head a little bit more.
All right, any other questions for Abe Lucas? Just raise your hand and we'll get you on. All right, Theo, go ahead.
Hey, Abe, your kind of entire side of the offensive line is pretty new now with the new right guard and the new center. Can you kind of speak to playing kind of next to two new guys and not having the same kind of continuity that you had with Fred and Valencia last year?
Well, Valencia was on the left side and Josh was on the right side. So, Fred, yeah, Fred was a smart guy, knew a lot, made his calls with a lot of confidence, big, strong guy too. And, Rob was obviously experienced, with his JC days and then coming in, he made contribution. I got faith in these new guys that are coming in. Obviously, I'm in the position where I'm a veteran now on the O line, which is a little strange because I remember when I was 18 years old, like it was yesterday. But I'm excited to share my knowledge with these younger guys who are coming in, even the ones who aren't going to play. Some of the freshmen and stuff. You can see that they have a hunger to grow themselves. So I'm excited to, share what I know about the game with them and to see us all improving.
I'm sure there's lots to be learned from Mark Weber, who's kind of been in college football, been coaching for I think about 40 years. Can you kind of speak to that and what he's kind of taught this group in 4 or 5 days, or I guess since you guys started kind of working with him?
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's my third O line coach now. 3 and 4 years. Or going on 4 years rather. That's kind of a lot. And each of them brought something different to the table. Coach Miller made me a better player. Coach Weber is going to make me a better player. They do things a little bit differently, but it's all for my benefit. I'm trusting what he says because if I was to do my own thing, I would fail, and I know that. So I have no problem listening to somebody who's obviously been in coaching like twice as long as I've been alive. I'm 21. He's been in football for over 40 years. So I would be stupid to not listen to him and not take to heart what he says.
Do you think it's more of a positive or kind of a negative to have three position coaches in 4 years? I'm sure you can kind of learn different things from all three, but you also kind of want some continuity, probably.
I'm used to it. I kind of went through the same thing in high school when I was playing basketball. I had three different coaches, and a couple of them weren't all that great. So, um, coming into something where you have three coaches or coach after coach after coach, it's just the nature of the business, And I was taught that my freshman year that there's people who kind of jump ship, and that's not always a bad thing. They move on to different opportunities, and they're looking out for their family. That's fine. Same with like college kids who transfer and stuff like that to be closer to home and all that. It's their choice, it's their opportunity, and they're going to take it. And they got to live with the decision they make. That's their thing. I'm here. I've been here. I'm here for the long haul. I'm ready for whatever comes.
All right, Zach from Coug Fan, go ahead.
Hey, the last 2 days in pads, what have you sort of picked up on as the little things that Coach Weber wants you guys to focus on?
That can be answered, I think, a lot of different ways. There's a lot of, in terms of like technique as an alignment and then technique as, as a unit, as an offensive line. There's a little bit of a difference in the sets that we take, which is fine. I've been trying to work that in best I can. The offense is obviously a lot different. We're not passing 87 times a game this year. It should be divided up pretty evenly. So, pass to open up the run, run to open up the pass, which makes it a little bit more physical when you're going at somebody and they're coming at you, which is fine. Offensive lineman, that's kind of part of the job. What I kind of get, the vibes I kind of get from Weber is that he's more of a chill guy. I mean, I haven't really heard him yell. I mean, obviously he gets frustrated and stuff like every coach does, but he's not a screamer or anything like that, and that makes sense. I mean, he's kind of an older guy, so I think those days are long past him. But just trying to work everything in that's new.
And at Hawaii, Coach Rolovich seemed to really like to use an athletic quarterback. And today he talked about Jaden and Cam having a couple of nice runs to end practice. Is having the quarterback run as an option something you as an offensive lineman look forward to?
Yeah, it's fine with me because you don't want a slow quarterback if they get into open space. I mean, if the opportunity comes for them to run it. Just don't get injured. Is my whole thing. I mean, I'm going to block for anybody. I'm going to block for whoever. If we get the slowest quarterback in the nation or the fattest quarterback in the nation, I have to block for him. I have to shut up and I have to do my job. That's okay. That's just the nature of the business. So, but if I had my choice, yes, I would prefer an athletic quarterback who can move in space a little bit.
Thank you.
Maybe one more question for Abe. Last chance for Abe. All right, Cody with the last one. Cody from the Evergreen.
I'll sneak one more in. Abe, have now 2 days in pads. Has there been some guys that you've gotten to work against on the D line, maybe more than usual, that you're really just going at it and that have shown some improvement on that side?
Yeah, I mean, Willie Rogers has moved out to edge, and he was an interior guy last year. I think the edge kind of fits him better, fits his style better because he's not a super big, bulky guy. He's more of a leaner sort of dude. And then Willie Taylor, in my opinion, Willie Taylor's the best pass rusher on this team. He's quick, he's tall, he's agile, he's long. So going up against him, I get to really, really lock in my skills and work on my game. And then we obviously got these young guys that don't go up against them too much. But I'm excited for to see what they can do this year, and when you get good matchups like good players on good players, and me on Willie Rogers, Willie Taylor, all these guys, it's going to be great.